Welcome to Pokenelli TCG here, and today we have a deck profile of a Mega Gardevoir deck that is mine. So I will have to show you the strategy of my Mega Gardevoir deck. So first we start off with a 2 Gardevoir EX. Basic stuff. There's nothing really to explain about Gardevoir EX. But our main focus of this deck is Mega Gardevoir EX. With Brilliant Arrow, it does 30 damage times the amount of fairy energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you get like 8 energy in play, you're doing 240 damage, knocking out pretty much everything in the game except for Wailord. But we can fix that with more energy. So how are we going to keep this energy in play? Well, we can use 3 Spritzy, which have nothing really to do with in this deck, and 2 Aromatisse, which Fairy Transfer allows you to move around your fairy energy freely as much as you want during your turn. And another way to keep this deck flowing is with 2 Swirlix and 2 Slurpuff. Which Slurpuff allows you with tasting to draw a card every turn. But if it's active, you can draw another card. Which you don't want to active because it's an easy 90 hit point knockout. 1 prize for your opponent. Also, keeps your deck flowing with an extra draw. So you don't have to play draw supporters every single turn. You can play search supporters or stall supporters or anything like that. And also, to get more energy in play, we play 2 Xerneas, which allow you to choose 2 of your bench Pokemon with Geomancy, and search your deck for a Fairy Energy card and attach it to that Pokemon. So you get 2 free energy for just 1 Fairy Energy you have to pay. Also, for backup attackers, we won 1 Mewtwo, which most of you guys should know what it does, and 1 Xerneas EX, which is pretty good because of X-Blast and Breakthrough are pretty decent attacks. Add on Muscle Band, you're doing 20 more, so it's not a bad card. Alright, so those are the Pokemon lineup for this deck. So now, here are our supporter lineup. We run 2 Pokemon Fan Club, only because we would run more, but we don't run as many basic Pokemon as most fairy decks. So just 2 is good enough because we need to spend that draw. We need to get draw too. Also 1 Shauna, decent draw card. 3 Professor Sycamore, basic stuff for a deck. 2 Lysander, which are very good cards. Switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. Very good. Especially when you're hunting down that big Primal Groudon EX or something that you need to knock out, and you have just the amount of energy to play with your Mega Gardevoir. You can easily knock that out in 1 shot. 1 N. Only reason we run 1, because it's going to rotate out. We need spots. 1 Wally. Very good to search out your Slurpuffs or Aromatisse or you can't do it on your Mega Gardevoir though, which is kind of a drawback, but it's still a good card to search them out. So that's our supporter lineup. Here are our items. So we run 3 Mega Turbo, which in fairy decks there's not many good items or anything that can get your energy out of your discard pile. Like a fairy toolbox deck is very hard to get your energy out of the discard pile if it's gone. But with Mega Gardevoir, you can just use this card Mega Turbo, which can get your energy back and attach it to one of your Pokemon. And also, with Aromatisse, you can move that energy around, so you don't have to stick with it on Mega Gardevoir. Another way to get energy, Professor's Letter, I run 2, because you run quite a bit of energy in this deck, basic energy in fact, that this card can be very helpful. Also, we run 3 Ultra Ball. Good way to search out a Pokemon. Basic stuff. 1 Crushing Hammer. Now this card is very good because it can get rid of your opponent's energy, and that's a very good thing to have. So you probably want this card in your deck. It's a very good card. Seismitoad really uses advantage of that, but you run more than that. So 1 is just good enough for this deck. 1 Acrobike. It's a very good card. You can look at the top two cards of your deck and put one of them in your hand, discard the other. So if you have, let's say, a Mega Gardevoir and Ultra Ball, and your top 2 cards of your deck. You have a Gardevoir with a Spirit Link and a few energy. Take the Gardevoir, discard the Ultra Ball, which you probably won't need, and then use that. So Acrobike, a very good card. 1 Head Ringer, because it's great. It's a good card to slow down your opponent. So, and that's a good thing we want, because Mega Gardevoir is probably one of the more lower HP amounts, 210 for a Mega. So we probably want to get that Head Ringer on, so it takes him an extra turn to attack, and we can get that knockout before it's able to attack. 1 Switch, but we do run Fairy Garden, but Switch is good because if you have a special condition like Sleep, like on your Mega Gardevoir, you just retreat out of that and switch out of that. Then retreat, you can put your Slurpuff up, take 2 cards, retreat, and get back into your Mega Gardevoir. So that's actually a pretty good combo you can do with this deck. Now, we don't run 3 Max Potion, we run 1 Max Potion. But, disadvantage to that, Scoop or Scoop Up. This card is great for this deck, because if you have a Gardevoir heavily damaged, or anything heavily damaged, and you want to switch it out of the active spot, but you don't have your Fairy Garden in play, just use a Super Scoop Up, take it in your hand, put it back down. Perfect. 1 Evo Soda, because this can get out your Aromatisse, and it can get out your Mega Gardevoir too. So it's actually a pretty good card to have. Just 1 Muscle Band, because you can put it on your Mewtwo or your Xerneas, because most of the time you're going to have a Spirit Link on your Mega Gardevoir, unless you don't Mega Evolve normally. But I do run 2 Spirit Link for Gardevoir, because I only run a 2-2 line. Hoping to get more, so that's kind of something I need. So if you want to trade, I'm interested in Gardevoirs and Megas. Now here are my stadiums. I run 4 Fairy Garden, because why would you run any more or any less? Because you get free retreat, and if someone counters it, you easily have a way to get it back in play. And for my energy lineup, we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Fairy Energy, which can max out Gardevoir to do 330 damage with Brilliant Arrow, if you have all the energy in play. So that's all for this deck. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.